Good morning, everyone. So in the last class, we are trying to discuss with our the constructor information as well as add method, and finally we identified how the toString method is going to work. Okay. So today we'll try to find out the remaining methods. So to find out the remaining method, first what we need. So this particular collection class add method we identified. Now we'll go for the size method. Now we'll go for the size method. So basically, if I'm going to write like this, so system.out.println, and here now what I'm doing is I'm trying to find out the al.size, al.size, getting the point. Now you can see whenever we are trying to add this particular element here, now what happens internally? So we are trying to increasing the size. Getting the point. We are trying to increasing the size. So now observe how this particular size is going to increase here. Getting the point. How this particular size method is going to call internally. So this is the default constructor we are calling, and add methods we are calling, right? And so we received here string method. Let me add a breakpoint here. Click on F8. So now we are inside the size method. Now what I want to do, I want to go inside this particular size method. So size is a variable here. Getting the point. Size is a variable we are trying to return. So whenever we are calling this particular method, so we are returning whatever the value we are residing inside this particular variable. Getting the point. Now, so this section of this size variable we already discussed. When we are trying to work for the add method, after adding the element, so they are increasing the size. So based on the particular increment, we are returning final size of this particular array list. Getting the point. So this is the way the size is implemented. Getting the point. This is the way the size method is implemented. And now we can see isEmpty method. So isEmpty method, what is doing here? Again, I'm trying to call al dot isEmpty method. Al dot isEmpty method. Let me run the example one more time. So we need to understand all the methods in the debug mode. So whatever the method we are having inside this particular array list, so all we are going to identify with the help of this particular debug. Now you can see again I'm trying to move so inside this particular isEmpty method. Now how it is checking here? Observe here isEmpty logic here. IsEmpty logic size, if the size is equals to 0, so it will return true, otherwise it will return false. Getting the point. So double equal to operator they are using. So size is a variable, and here one constant variable called 0. Getting the point. So based on the size, the value which is equals to 0, so isEmpty method which will return true, otherwise it will return false. Now you can check here, so size method it will returning false here. So why it is returning false? Because the size is having some value, so it is not equals to the 0. Getting the point. So this is the our isEmpty method. And so contains method. So third one, contains method. So to understand this particular contains method, now what we can do, so al dot contains here, and here I want to check this particular KL. So whether this particular KL object is available or not, we can understand here. Okay, again I want to run in the debug mode. Let me run this particular effect. So contains method. Now I'm moving inside this particular contains method. So this is the contains method. Internally, so what is the method they are calling? What is the method they are calling internally? So index of. Correct the point. Index of method. Now what we can do? We need to find out the index of method. Now I'm moving inside this particular index of. So what is the objective? What is the value we are having? KL. The KL is nothing but, so we passed here. So this particular KL we are passing. Getting the point. Now observe what happening internally. Again, index of method internally is checking. Internally, it is calling one more method called index of range. Index of range here. So size they are passing and object they are passing, right? And so 0 they are passing. So we need to understand here why this 0 is passing, right? Now you can see this is the index of method. Index of range. Let me move inside this particular index of range. Now observe, so we are inside the index of. So what is the element data? Element data is nothing but, as of now, how many objects we store? So those objects will store into the variable called element data, and it is a object array type, right? It is a object array type. Now observe, so ES. So ES will contain, so whatever the data we store, so those information we are checking, right? So O. So O is not a null because we are passing some value, right? We are passing some value. So now if we want to understand, now you can see the if condition is returning false. So whenever the condition is returning false, now what we can do? We need to go for the else section. We need to go for the else section. Now what happened internally? So they are working on the loop concepts here. So int I is equals to, so now you can see they are not working with the 0. Whatever the value we are going to have in the start, so that start we are initializing into this particular I, and I less than end. So where is this particular end is coming? End is nothing but size. End is nothing but size. So based on this particular size, so this particular loop is going to repeat, and so whenever the particular O is equals to satisfied with ES of I, ES of I. Getting the point. Now you can see, so either here I is going to work as a index location. I is going to work as a index location. So this section of code we implemented in our previous example multiple times here. Getting the point. So we implemented the loop. We identified the equals method. So to find out the array values here. To find out the array values here. Getting the point. Now observe, so whenever the object will satisfy, now what happens internally? It will return the index value. Getting the point. Now you can see, so this object is satisfied. So OKL and inside this particular EF of I KL. So both the objects are satisfied. Getting the point. Now observe, so what exactly it is doing contains method. So based on the size, so it's trying to find out the whether the given object is resides inside this particular the collection or not. Is checking here with the help of this particular equals method, and if it is satisfying, it will return the object information. So if the basically if the object is satisfied here, now what we can do? Simply we can return true, because I value we are getting. How much was the I value we are getting? 6. So carefully observe here, we are trying to return the I value. The index of method is it will return I value. So what is the I value we are getting here? 6. The I value we are getting 6 here. Now carefully observe. Observe here, if this particular index of method is returning greater than 0, what happens internally? It will return true. So otherwise it will return false. Now this index of method is returning 6 value. So the 6 it is a greater than or equals to this particular 0. It is a greater than or equals to 0. So now if it is a greater than or equal to 0, so what is the value we are going to get? true. Cutting the point. So true value we are going to get. Now observe the contents method is returning true. The last two sys out here, it's returning true. Cutting the point. So this is all about the contents method. So how it is implemented. So simple we can understand here. So based on this particular like array list object here, we are trying to repeat one by one with help of this particular for loop, and internally we are checking the object with help of the equals method. So if the objects are equal, we'll returning true. Otherwise, we'll return false here. We'll return false. So two array. Okay. So to move this particular two array, okay, we'll see how this particular two array is implemented here. How this particular two array implemented here. So al dot two array. Now what you are understanding here, two array. So two array, it will try to return the object array here. Cutting the point. It will try to return the particular object array. Now what I want to provide this particular information. Okay. Again, so we'll find out this particular two array concepts here. So how this particular two array is implemented. So size we identified, is empty we identified, contents also we identified. Now it's a time to find out the two array. Cutting the point. Now what they are doing here? So basically we already identified here. We already identified it. Element data is already we are coming as a object array, and size. The size we are getting as a 12. So based on this, internally what is doing here the two array? Based on this, it will create a new object array, and so based on this particular element data and size, it will try to return the new object array. It will try to return the new object array. Cutting the point. So here we are getting object array. Cutting the point. Here we are getting object reference we are getting here. So to find out this particular object information, what we can do? Now what we can do? So I want to work as a for each style here. Here the objects array we are going to get, and I need to print this particular ARR. So we'll see. So whether what is the value we are trying to printing here. Click on F8. Now observe. So AB printing. So CD, EF, cutting the point. So now you can observe. So simply, if you want to convert to the particular object into the object array, basically now, so we created array list with help of the generic concept called string. But with help of this particular two array, now what we can do? So whatever the object we are getting, so we can convert into the object array, and based on the object array, we can work on this particular operation. Basically, so once objects array are created, so it's going to give better performance compared to this particular array list here. Getting the point. So because the arrays will have a fixed length here, so based on the fixed length, so we are going to get some better performance compared to this particular array list. So whenever if we want to iterate the values here, and now what is the option we can do? We can convert this particular object into the object array, the array list into the object array, and we can iterate the values here. So this is only the purpose we can go for, because we cannot insert and so we cannot update this particular information here. Because while inserting here, what happens here? So arrays are fixed length here. We cannot, after creating this particular size, we cannot add one more element here. So just for iteration purpose, we can go for this particular two array and remove method. So whenever, this is important, whenever we are trying to remove, now what happens internally, the size of this particular array, the size of this particular array list, it needs to be reduced here. So it needs to be reduced here. So observe here, so remove object here. Basically, so this is the object we are going to pass, like this is the objective, this is the object as a parameter. This method is coming from the object as a parameter is coming from the collection. Object as a parameter is coming from the collection interface. Now we need to understand the how this particular remove method is implemented. How this particular remove method is implemented. So let me click on this particular debug. Now observe, so contains method. Now we are inside the remove method. So now, so carefully observe here what we are doing here. Element data and size. So they are trying to, so taking into the another variable here, ES and size here. Okay, now observe, so ES we are getting and size we are getting. So ES is nothing but, so as of now, how many elements we store here, so those information we are going to get inside this particular ES, and what is the size of this particular array list, we are getting the size here. And now you can see the line number 614. Now what we are doing here, just we are declared the one more variable, something called I is equals to 0. So here we are checking O is equals to null. So this section of code, so it will return false. Getting the point? So this section of code, it will return false here. Right. So back to here, and here now you can see, the initialization section. So initialization section is not yet defined here. So why they are not defined here? Because here we already defined this particular section of code. Int I is equals to 0. Int I is equals to 0, we already defined here. Okay. So we don't want to define one more time here. Now observe I less than 0. Now observe I less than size here. The size we identified 12. The size we identified 12 and I plus plus. So now what they are doing here? So they are checking here. They are checking here object is satisfying or not. If the object is condition satisfied here, now what they are doing here? So break here. Getting the point. This section of code we already identified here. Go to function here. So found here. Now you can see found. They define the variable and they are making the break found here. Getting the point. So this section of our code also we already discussed in the previous class. Right. Now observe. So it is satisfied. The given object and from the array list object here. So it's satisfied. So it's now. So where it is closed this particular section of code. Here. So here they closed here. Now observe. So it's coming back to the fast to remove method. What is the I we are having? 6. And what is this is a array list objects. So what are the array list object we stored? So those information. Now you can see fast to remove. Now what they are doing internally, we need to understand here. So whenever we are trying to remove this particular object here, so that is the size also, it needs to be decreased here. So currently we are having 12. Now we need to check here how this particular fast to remove method is implemented internally. Now observe what is the mod count we are having? 12. Now it will become 13 here and So new size. The new size we are initializing here with the help of this particular size minus 1. What is the size minus 1? Now you can observe 11. The new size will become 11. Cutting the point. New size will become 11 and the I we are having 6. The i's we are having 6. This particular entire expression is going to satisfy. The entire expression is going to satisfy here. Now observe here. So we enter into the if condition. What now? So what they are doing here? Now what they are doing here? Observe here array copy. So this is our original array and I plus 1. I value we are having 6. So it will become 7 and es again I new size. So new size minus I. Correct the point. So based on this particular parameters here, how many parameters we are having? So object to source. So this is also one source position and object to destination. So destination position and length. Cutting the point. So these many parameters we are having inside this particular method called array copy. Right. Now observe. So first we need to understand here any changes we are going to have inside this particular 6th index. So observe in the 5 index here ij and in the 7th index we are having ab. Now we'll see after coming out of this particular method. So inside this particular es, inside this particular es here, now observe what happening internally. What happens internally? So now you can see where is our kj value. So in the 5 we are having ij. Basically in the 6 previously we had kl value. Right. Now currently now we can understand here the kl value is removed. Cutting the point. The kl value is removed here. And so the objects are re-added. Getting the point. So the objects are added the like reconstructed the positions here. Getting the point. So once the object is removed, what happens internally? So the objects are reconstructed here. Reconstructed here. Right. Now observe what they are doing here. So size. What is the size we are having? Size we are having 11. Right. Now you can see the new size, whatever the new size we are having. So we are initializing into this particular size variable. Now the size is 11. Sorry, the size is 12 right now. So whenever I'm coming out of this particular ES here, now you can see the size will become 11. The size will become 11. Cutting the point. So this is very important here. Whenever we are trying to remove this particular object here, how it is like making the object position reorder and how this particular the size is changing here. Cutting the point. Basically the new size we are making here. So size minus 1. New size we are making here size minus 1 and so where exactly the object we want to remove. So that object information like the index information we are getting from so 6th number. The object, the index location we are getting from this particular I, and based on that we are removing, and once object is removed here, and so again they are trying to reconstructing the particular ES. So and finally we are changing the size and we are returning here. So first remove the element is removed here and return true. Now what you are understanding here? So whenever passing this particular object array, sorry, whenever we are trying to call this particular remove method with help of this object as a parameter, now we identified. So this is the code. Now what I want to do, I want to call the same al.remove. Here I want to give same 6 here. Getting the point? So this method is coming from the our list interface. This remove method is coming from the list interface. So let me provide remove here. Now you can see remove method, so which is expecting into index here, okay. Now so it's time to understand here. So when we are trying to pause the index, how this particular object is going to remove, so click on the effect and back to here, remove method. Now I'm trying to move inside this particular section of code. Now observe here. So whether this particular index is available or not inside this particular size, so it's going to check by this particular method. So if you observe carefully, so both the methods are calling different logic here. Getting the point? So this method is remove method is calling different logic, and with the object as a parameter, so the method also calling different here. Okay, now observe here. So element data we are loading. Here. So now you can see, so direct we are calling fast to remove. Getting the point? When we're trying to work for the indexes here, so we are not like finding out the, so where exactly the object is located in the which index location. So there is no loop condition. Getting the point? So there is no loop condition. After the loop, so whatever the method they call inside the remove method, when we are trying to pass as a object as a parameter, getting the point? The same method we are calling here. The same method we are trying to call here. But observe, so inside this particular element here, now what we are doing here, carefully observe. So this is the index here. Getting the point? This is the index here. Now what we are doing here, we are trying to finding out the what is the object which is stored here. So that is called AB. So why we are getting AB here? Because now you can see, so this particular remove is removed this particular KL here. So once it is removed this particular KL here, so this particular AB is going to store in the 6th location. Getting the point? Now observe carefully here. Now what we can do, they are trying to finding out the old value. Getting the point? So when we are trying to have a index value, whenever we are having a index value, directly we are calling the fast remove method, object array and index here. So the index we are passing 6 here. Now you can see same method we are calling or not. Same method we are calling here. Getting the point? Now you can observe. So what is the size we are having currently? 11. So the size, new size will become 10 based on this particular new size. So they are going to copy the object element and we are reducing this particular size. The size will become 10. And old value. Getting the point? So if I observe carefully, this particular remove method is returning true. So this particular remove method, whatever the object, getting the point, whatever the object we removed from this particular array list, so the particular object we are going to get, the particular object we are getting. So that is the old value, something called AB. So if you observe inside this particular element data, the AB will not available. Here. Getting the point? Now you can see IJMN. So the AB is not available, right? So this is also very important here. So whatever the removed we object here, so if we want to find out the remove object here, so which method is suitable? This particular remove method based on the index value, right? So the collection remove method is not suitable because it will return true. So the true we can understand here whether this particular remove method is removed or not. Okay, so this is the old value. So something called AB. Now observe, so this is the difference between the two remove methods, which is coming one from the collection and another one coming from the list interface. Okay, and back to here, contains all. So contains all, we'll see when we are trying to work for the another collection of objects here, and add all method. Basically, add all also it's simple here. So we'll create a one more collection and we'll pass the collection reference here. All the objects we are going to copying into this particular current objects here. Okay, remove all. So we need to check for the retain all. Basically, so to create these three concepts here, now what we can do, I want to create a one more array here. To work on the three concepts method, so this is our AL1. Now what I'm trying to find out here, so this is AL1, right? Here I want to give all the small elements here. Right? Now, so what is the method we can check here? So contains all. So first we'll check for the contains all here. So to check for the contains all, AL dot contains all AL1. Getting the point. So basically the contains all method which is expecting so one more collection as a parameter. Now you can see any collection you can pass here, not only the array list. So you can go for the any collection here. But currently we are discussing this particular array list concepts. So we need to understand the same concept here. Now observe contains all method. So to find out this particular contains all method, now what we can do? So we need to go for the how this particular internal code is implemented. Now what you are understanding here? Observe here we are having collection of objects here. We are having collection of objects here, and when we are getting multiple objects here, what we are doing here? We are calling this particular loop here. We are calling this particular loop, and with the help of this particular loop, one by one object we are getting, and internally we are calling this particular method called contains method. Now we'll see how this particular contains method is calling. So let me move inside this particular contains method. So internally the contains method we already identified here. Getting the point. So just now we discussed the contains method, where the contains method is available. So here contains method. Getting the point. So even though if I'm going to call the contains all, internally what they are doing is they are calling the contains method. So the contains method purpose we already identified. So it's checking index of. So let me go for the index of. Internally is checking index of range. So this is the object we are passing, and this is starting from the static index, and this is the size. What we are doing is, so element data we are loading, right? So the object we given it's not null, and we are checking here if the object is equals to null. So they are returning I. They are returning this particular I here. Now observe. So if it is greater than or equals to 0, so it will return true. Otherwise, it will return false. Now you can see. So it is returning false. It's returning false. Getting the point. So if it is returning false here, now what we can understand here? So whatever the object we given, so those are not equals to the the AL1 the AL1 array list object here. Getting the point. So this is important here. So it's simple here. Inside this particular contents also it will try to check the first object here. The given first object is equals to the old collection object or not. Old collection object or not. So it's checking here. Right. So this is all about the content solve method. So we need to understand carefully here how this particular content solves method. So add all. Basically add all also will say. Now what we can do? So simply you can create a one more array list and al dot add all. You can specify the al1. Right. Now so remove all also will go for the retain all method. This is important here. So compared to the other ones. So because remove all also we identified, just we'll pass the collection like any reference here, array list or linked list. So we'll discuss some other implementation classes, right? You can specify the any collection reference here. al dot retain all al1. Getting the point. So retain all method, how it will work. Now I want to move. So again in the debug mode, click on F8 here. So contains all we identified. Now I'm trying to move retain all. So batch remove method internally it's calling. So we want to say this is the collection reference and they are passing as a true and this is a 0 index. Okay, and size here. So they are passing 4 parameters here. Now observe what we can do, batch remove. So batch remove. Require. So basically it is a not null object or not is checking here because whatever the object we created, so those are not null here. So directly we can go for the second line and element data. So element data we are getting here the ES. So the current object information we are getting and here we need to understand. So from we passed as a 0 and end it is a size. So 10 we are having. Now we can observe here initialization section they made and there is no condition section. There is no condition section here. So the 0 we are initializing into R and the R plus plus we are incrementing the R value. But what about the condition here? So we did not make the condition here, but internally we are using the break here. Internally we are using this particular break here. So using this particular break, we can terminate this particular loop here. Right? So now understand here R equals to N? No. Right. C contains ER not complete. So what it is? Okay, it is a true or not we are checking here. Okay, basically, so this section of code we are going to true or false. Again, internally, the contains method we are calling. Again, internally, we are calling this particular contains method. So if it is not equals to this particular element here, so they are going to make break here. So break here. Carrying the pen. So those are not equals. Those are not equals here. So observe R plus plus. Now again, so if you observe carefully, again we are having one more loop here. Carrying the pen. Again we are having one more loop. So W. What is the W currently? 0. And R less than N. R also we are having 1. And here, so we are checking with object E. So these are the object reference we passed here. So let me move inside this particular condition. So again, now observe here. So this particular contains method, again it is returning true or not. So it will not return true. It will not return true. Now what you are understanding is, inside this particular ES here, if you observe, so if this particular condition is satisfying, here, so it's overriding the value. Getting the point? It will overriding the value. So inside this particular collection, so see, this particular C is coming from this. Getting the point? This whatever the C we are using there, so these are the objects here. These are the objects. Using this particular object here, now what we are doing is, we are trying to comparing, so these objects here. We are trying to comparing, so these objects here. Now you can see ES here. So ES is our original object, and C, this is the newly object AL1. Now you can see AL1 here, and this is our, so initially created the array list object. Now what we are doing is, if this particular condition is returning true, so they are overriding here. They are overriding here. Whatever the condition satisfied, so with the help of this particular E, so those are going to initializing here. But here the condition is not satisfying here. The condition is not satisfying here. So no object will inserted into the ES with a W with a W reference here. Right. Now you can see, so we need to understand the ES here. Wherever the ES we are having, now you can observe all objects we are having null. All objects we are having null. So why we are having null? Because the condition is not satisfied. So now what you are understanding regarding this particular retains all here. What you are understanding? Basically retains add. So what it will do, whenever we are passing this particular collection reference here, so it's going to check, so this particular object information and this particular object information. So in between two collections here, so any object is satisfied, so those objects will store, and remaining objects are going to remove from the collection. So what is the collection object we are using? The array list here. Getting the point? So whatever the object we are going to satisfy, so those objects is going to return, and other objects are going to remove from the particular array list here. Getting the point? So this is the purpose of this particular returns method. The purpose of this particular returns method. So clear method and equals method we already identified here. Already identified. So first we need to focus on to the hash code method. AL dot hash code method. So AL dot hash code method. Now we'll understand here, so how this particular hash code method is going to work. How this particular hash code method is going to work. Now observe, so we are at right now hash code method. Now I'm moving this particular hash code method internally, so which is implemented in our array list here. So what is our mod count here? So around 14. So mod count is 14 here. Hash code range here. Hash code range. The hash code range we need to understand here. Let me move inside this particular hash code range. So from is a 0 and to size. The size we are having 10. Okay. Now element data we are getting. So 2 greater than es dot length. So es dot length, how much we are having? Basically 15. So the length we are having 15. The 2 we are having 10. So it's returning false. It's returning false here. Okay. So back to here hash code 1. And now you can see again we are having loop here. Again we are having loop here. Getting the point? Now we need to understand this particular loop. So what is the from value we are having? 0 we are initializing into I, and we are checking up to 2 times. So this particular loop is going to repeat. Based on this particular ESI. Based on this particular ESI, now what I'm trying to write here? The current object I'm trying to load. The current object I'm trying to load here. So something called, what is the object we are going to get here? AB, right? Now you can understand here. So based on this particular logic, so what is the hash code we are having right now? 1. So 31 into 1 we are going to get as a 31, and E equals to null it is 0. So now what I am doing here? So basically E it is not a null. So E is not a null. And what we can do? If this particular E it is not a null, now what I am trying to find out here? So E dot hash code. E dot hash code here. So again we need to find out the E dot hash code here. E dot hash code. So let me move E dot hash code method. So this is the string class. So why we move inside this particular string class? Any idea? So directly why we are moving into string here? Basically here what is a element type we are using? That is called string here. That is called string. Cutting the point. So this is very important here. The type we are using here, string here. So because of this, we are moving inside this particular string. And what is the hash code right now? 0. So hash we are having 0, and hash is not 0, false. So it will become true. Now is Latin. If it is a Latin, so it is a Latin here. Now what happens here? So based on this, particular hash code, cutting the point. Basically based on this, so the Unicode format or the Latin format here, what is doing here? So it will try to finding out the hash code value. So what is the value we are having? Something called AB. Cutting the point. So A is resides in the 65 location and B is resides in the 66 location. Now if you want to find out the now you can see the A we object we are having AB. Cutting the point. So we already identified here. Basically these are the Unicode values here, right? Now understand here what is the hash code we are going to get here. Okay, now we are not finding it. So we'll see. So what is the hash code we are having? So 2081. Cutting the point. So 2081 we are getting here. How we are getting this particular 2081? So based on this particular hash code, mechanism, now you can see values we are having 2. What are the values we are having? 65, 66. Right. Now you can see based on this particular expression, we are getting the hash code value 2081. Cutting the point. So 31 into H plus so V dot some expression here. Right. So this is, we need to understand how this particular hash code is working internally. And now observe hash code we are getting here and the hash code we are returning. Right. Now what is the current hash code we are getting here? So this entire hash code we are getting 2081, and the 2081 we are going to get as a this particular hash code. So finally we can understand here. So 2112, 2081 plus 31, right? So this is the hash code we are getting. And finally, because we are inside the loop here, so for every object, For every object, the same, the logic is going to call, and it will try to find out the hash code. It will try to find out the hash code here. Now understand here, what is the hash code we are getting? 67617. 67617. Now, so this is the second one. For the third one, now you can see some bigger range we are getting. Now you can understand here the value, so some bigger range, right? So this is the way the hash code we are going to generating here. So basically, with the current, whatever the hash code we are getting here, so based on the hash code, we are trying to multiply with 31. So this section of code is giving so some bigger value here, right? So every time we are going to get some bigger value. So from the bigger value, again we are trying to multiply this particular 31. So because of this, we are going to get some bigger value. Now you can see how many objects we are having. So based on this particular objects here, we are getting the particular hash code here. This is the final hash code value for the entire objects here. Whatever the object we stored here, for this all the objects here, for all this particular object here. So this is our hash code here, right? And so this is, we don't want to check here, because basically we need to check here based on this particular hash code reference. So if I'm trying to perform any other operations, we can check here. So expected mod count, we are having 14. So they are going to perform some other operations. We don't want to check. But here, the same hash code we are returning here. The same hash code we are returning here, right? So this is the way we need to understand the internal hash code generation here, right? Internal hash code generation. So internally, so it's going to work on some binary format. So to find out the hexadecimal, some binaries, carrying the point. So hexadecimals and binaries to find out some hash code here. Okay. So this is all about some of the methods which are available inside this particular object class. So any questions? So any questions, like what are the methods we discussed right now? So these many methods we discuss here. So anyone having any questions? Okay. So if we don't have anything here, we'll try to check for we'll try to check for the list class, list interface related methods here. Okay. Now what we can do? So get method. Get method. So to find out this particular get method, now what we can do? So I want to remove all the concepts here. al.get. And what is expecting here? So which is expecting index value. Now I want to give 6 here. I want to give 6 here. So let's see. Again, we can run for the same application in the debug mode. So to find out how this particular get method is working internally. Carrying the point. How this particular get method is working internally. Now observe, we are at this particular get method. Let me move inside this particular get method. So simply, what is doing here? So they are checking whether this particular index is available inside this size or not. They are checking here. Okay. So if you want to understand here, we'll go first one time here. Now you can see. So they're calling preconditions and check index here. So length method and index here. Based on that, it is trying to check. So we don't want to go inside this particular, because it is not useful for us. So at this time, we need to focus for the get method here. Okay. Now observe here. We are moving internally. One more method is calling. So what is one more method is calling internally? Element to data. Right. So how this particular element to data is going to work, we need to think here. Right. Observe. So I want to move inside this particular element to data. And what is the index we are passing here? 6. Now observe inside this particular element data. Now observe element data. So this is the element data we are working from the from the basic example. So I like basically whatever the object we stored into this particular array list. So all the objects are stored into this particular element data. Element data is a type object array. Element data is having the data type called object array, and based on the object array we are finding the index, and so this particular based on this particular index we are loading the object. So this is a simple, because the object array related example we identify. This is the array example only, right? Internally, so they are working on the index value from this particular array concept, and whatever the object is located based on this particular index location, the object is they are trying to return, and this is the way they are trying to return the object. So something called KL, right? So this is the way the get method is going to work, and now we need to focus on the set method. We need to focus on the set method here. So now al.set here into index and e element here. I want to provide the index as a 14. The element also I want to provide as a 14. I want to provide as a 14. Now observe how this particular set method is going to work. So click on F8 here and go for the next line. So move inside this particular set method. Now you can see index and element, right? Now, so here, okay. Now you can see here we are getting an exception here. So why we are getting an exception? What is the length we are having? Length we are having 12. Getting the point? So length we are having 12, but we are trying to inserting in the 14 index location. Getting the point? In the 14 index location, so at this time we are getting an so out of bound errors here. Getting the point? Now you can see index out of bound exception. Getting the point? Length we are having 14, but the index value length we are having 12, the index we are having 14. Getting the point? Now, so what you are understanding here? Getting the point? Whenever we are calling this particular set method, so by default array list is not going to increase. The capacity, array list capacity is not going to increase here. Getting the point? So this particular setter method, the set method, so is going to useful within the length of the particular array list here. Within the length of the particular array list here. Now observe, I want to give 11. I want to give 11 here. Now, if I'm going to click on, so debug as an application. Now we'll try to move on to the set method one more time. So we are checking the index here. So the index is not getting any exception. So element data. Observe here element data. So what they are doing here? Again, so based on this particular element data, we are trying to finding out the old value. So we'll see, because the element data just now we identified here. So how the element data is implemented. So AB value we are getting. So this is the old value, and what is the current value we are having? 14. And what is the index we are having? 11. Now what you are understanding this particular line number? What you are understanding here? So it's going to override the value. Now you can see in the 11 index location. In the 11 index location we are having AB. So once I'm coming out of this particular line number 441, now you can see the AB will not available. Getting the point? So the particular AB will not available. Now you can understand here. Now you can understand here 14. Getting the point? So if you understand here, basically, so the capacity we are having 15 here. The capacity we are having 15, but if I'm trying to insert in the 14 index location, we got an exception. Getting the point? Now you can see the 12, 13, 14 we are having empty. So 0 to 14 nothing, but we are having 15 capacity. But if I'm trying to call this particular set method with a 14 index here, so we got an exception. Getting the point? This is important here. So even though we are having the capacity, but the set method is applicable only. So how many elements we stored into the current array list? Getting the point? How many elements we store into the current array list here? So it's going to check on the capacity, sorry, length only. It's not going to check for the capacity. Getting the point? So this is, we need to understand very carefully. And now observe, the set method is trying to return the old value. So what is the old value we are having? Something called AB. The AB is overridden with our 14, right? So this is all about the set method and add method. So add method we already identified. So remove method also we identified here. So index of here, index of. So by seeing the name of the method, we can easily understand here. So what is the initial index of this particular object here? Object here. So what is the object we can make? So something called AB. So what is the object we can make here? Something called AB. So directly we can print this particular AB. Basically, if I'm providing this particular object reference here, so it will try to give where in the which index location the AB is stored here. In the which index location the AB is stored. So first one 0. First one 0. Right? Now the same object if I'm going to call last index of. If I'm going to call last index of, now we'll observe what is the value we are getting. 7. Getting the point? So last index we are getting 7 here. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So this is the last one. Basically, this object is overrid with 14. If I'm trying to comment out, we'll try to run one more time here. 11. Getting the point? So previously we got 7. Now we are getting 11. So this is the last index of this particular object here. Getting the point? So what is the difference between so the difference between index of and last index of? Index of will provide the current value, first index of this particular object here. So even though the same object is having multiple indexes value, first it will check for the whatever the first index we are going to get. So that is it written by the index of, and the same way last index of. So what is the last value of, what is the last index value of the given object is going to written by the last index of. So this is the difference between index of and last index of and sublist here. So this is the last method we are having, sublist here. Now, so using this particular al dot sublist here. So I want to give 2 to 6 here. So 2 to 6 here. It will return list of strings here. So otherwise, so directly we can print here. Directly, we can print this particular now understand here. So we'll go for the how this particular sublist is working internally. Now, so basically sublist is a method and sublist is a one more class. Sublist is a one more class. Where it is created here? So here they created. Getting the point. So here they created so root element and this is the parent, offset and size. Getting the point. Offset and size, and now you can see collection like a constructor here. So this is the root elements here, and from index and to index here. We are passing into this particular class constructor. This particular class constructors. So based on this, internally, so they are going to call from index and element to set method. So this is we identified. So get method, size method. These are the inside the sublist. These are inside the sublist here. So remove range, add all. So replace up to how many elements we are having. Okay. So up to this is the class they implemented here. Cutting the pen. This whatever the highlighted code. So this code is implemented inside this particular class called sublist class. Cutting the pen. So I'm requesting. So try to check for the nested classes here. Try to check for the nested classes here. So which method we are calling here? So this method, line number 1395 we are calling here from index and to index. Internally, the constructor is going to call to return the so whatever the element we want to return. Right. Internally it will call the set method and it will go for the it will try to create a new sublist object and it will return the values here. Okay, so back to here. So we don't want to work more. Now you can see this is our sublist here. This is our sublist information we are getting. All right. So these all about the array list methods here. So array list methods we identified. Same way, collection related methods also we identified. So any questions? So any questions so far? So whatever the methods we discuss. Okay. So if we don't have anything here, now what I want to do, so I want to go for the one more implementation class. Cutting the pun. So one implementation class we identified. So that is called ArrayList here, and which is implementing from the list interface. Now I want to go for the one more implementation class that is called linked list. Cutting the pun. So this particular linked list is basically so which is going to implementing from the list interface, so as well as DQ interface and linked list. Now observe, so list interface, DQ interface. DQ already by default is extending from the queue interface. Now how many methods we need to focus here? Getting the point. How many methods we need to focus here? First we need to focus here. So the list related methods and queue related methods and So DQ related methods also we need to focus here. Getting the point. So this is very important class we are going to discuss. So that is called linked list here. Right. Now, so if we observe carefully in the linked list class, so what is a default capacity? Getting the point. In the array list, we already identified here. So the default capacity, getting the point. In the array list, we are having the default capacity 10, right? But back to here in the linked list, any default capacity we are having here? So there is no default capacity. Getting the point. Okay, now, so if you observe, one more concept we are doing here, like we are trying to see node concept here. We are trying to work on the node concept here. So what exactly this particular node contains here? Now, where this particular node is created? Inside this particular linked list only. Inside this particular linked list only. Now, what you are understanding here? So this is the item, and again, so one more node they are having. So that is called next node, and so this is the previous node. Getting the point. So this is very important here. So this is the node class we are creating internally. So the same object references we are having. The same object references we are having. Now, basically, so what we need to understand here, so the node to understand here, this section of code we need to discuss here. So basically, so it will look like here. This is getting the point. So now you can see this section of will provide, so it will provide previous node, and this is value, right? And this is next to. Getting the point. Now this information we are getting here. So basically item, next node, and previous node. Right. So linked list is not going to use any arrays concepts. So basically linked list is going to work on the one of the important data structure called linked list only. Basically this particular linked list is implemented from the linked list data structure here. Okay. Now, so in the linked list data structure, we are going to work on the next node, so previous node, and what is the value. So whatever the value we are going to store from the add, so it will try to call the node concepts here. Okay. So back to here, we'll need to go for the constructors here, because we identify some information. So the linked list is going to use internally node concepts here. Okay. Observe here, and this is the default constructor. So default constructor, it is not doing any changes here. So there is no information inside this particular default constructor. And the second constructor we are having here, the second constructor which is expecting collections here, which is expecting collections, and internally it is calling add all method. Internally it is calling add all method, and so this constructor. So this constructor, again the default constructor is calling, right? So this is all about the constructor information. So let me create this particular linked list object first. Now what you are understanding is, so linked list is also one of the implementation of the list interface here. LL I am given new linked list. Right. So new linked list here. And after creating this particular new linked list, so we already identified. So linked list is implementing from the list and queue and DQ interfaces. So as well as by default is implementing from the collection interface also. First I will call collection method. So that is called add method. Right. And here the same AB I want to give. The same AB I want to give. So carefully observe, I want to provide the same add method, how it is implemented. Add method, how it is implemented here. Okay. So constructor is created. Now we are moving inside this particular add method. Now what you are understanding here? What you are understanding here? Internally, one method is calling. So what is the method is calling? Link last. Link last. So what you are understanding by seeing this particular method? Getting the point. So we are trying to adding this particular object, the end of the node. Getting the point. End of the node. So observe, we'll go for the link last method. So what is the last here? So as of now, we don't have a last. Basically, this is the first node we are trying to creating, right? So internally, there is no last node here. Okay, observe. So no, last node is not available. So they are creating one node object here, right? So with what are the parameters they are passing here? So previous node, getting the point, element and next node. So whenever we are making the, whenever we are trying to create a new node, so for then each node, the next references we are going to have null, right? So observe, so previous node, the previous node, what is the previous node we are having? L. The previous node also we are having null. So just we can understand the element, what is the element we are passing. Okay. So new node is created. There is no previous reference and there is no next reference, right? Okay. So what we are doing here, so whatever the newly created node, again we are making into last node, right? So L is equals to null. So this particular L equals to null. So if it is a null, so what they are doing here? So this is the first node. This is the first node here. Getting the point? Okay. Now we identified the first node we created here. So now you can see the first node cannot, there is no previous reference and next reference. Okay. We'll see. So size is increasing, mod count also increasing. Now what you are understanding here? So how this particular object is created here? So the object will be stored as a AB. The object will be stored as a AB here, and here, so this particular previous node is null, and so this particular next node also null. The next node also null. So this is only the information is providing or not. Now you can see the first node. Item we stored, previous, next, both are null, right? So click on F6 here, we coming out of the link last method. So now returning true. Okay. So again, what I will do, I will add one more element. I will add one more element. So we'll see one more time here. Now, so at this time, so this object is already added. Getting the point? This particular object is already added. Now you can see in the 0 location, AB is already added. AB is already added here. Okay, now we need to focus on to the second method. Now I'm moving, the same method is calling, linked last method I'm calling. So you can say last. What is our last here? AB. Getting the point. So here we previously, so we initialized this particular last with the help of this particular new node, right? So last we identified. Now we are creating one more node here. So one more node we are creating. So carefully observe. So this particular L, so as of now, there is no references here. Previous and next. After creating this particular object, still the last cannot have information. But now you can see, the new node is having previous reference here. The newly created object here, we are having previous references here. Getting the point. So this is important. So what is the previous reference we are having? So that is called AB. That is called AB. Getting the point. Observe carefully. So previous node we are having, the previous value we are having AB. The current value we are having CD. So because for the current value, there is no next. Okay. Now the newly created node we are making as a last, because the new one is, every time the new one is a last. Every time the new one is a loss. So L is not equals to null. So basically L we are having object information. But now what we need to understand here. So observe carefully L dot next. L dot next. L dot next, the newly created node we are passing here. Now observe. Now observe the particular L. So what is the L we are having here? So that is called so previous element, previous node, because the previous node we are having AB and the previous we are having next year. Getting the point. So the diagram is going to provide the information. So again, one more node I'm created here. One more node I'm creating here with help of this particular references here. Now observe what you need to understand here. So what is the value we are having? Something called CD. Something called CD. Right. Now here the CD, so carefully observe where this particular CD is having. So this is cutting the point. So CD, this is right. The CD is having previous node. So if the CD is having the previous node, basically, so this is only right, the previous node, right. So this is only the previous node and this is our next node. But now if you observe, this particular previous is having some object. So where it is linked here? Getting the point. Now observe here. So it is linked with so this particular next year. So it's linked with next year. Now what we need to understand here. So we're having the link like this. We're having link like this here. Getting the point. So this is very important here. This is very important here. Now we are having, so both the nodes have linked with each other here. Okay. Now you can see the last node we are having the previous reference. The previous reference is linked to this particular item. Okay. Now the AB we need to check here. Right. This is the AB. Now you can see the AB we are having next reference. So there is no previous references. There is no previous references. They are having only the next references. So what is the next reference we are having? That is called CD. Right. Now we can observe. So the next references we are having to this particular CD. It is particular to the CD. Getting the point? So this section of code very important here. This section of code very important here. Getting the point? So the newly created, the second one, CD, is pointed to the previous reference to the existing object next to, and the previous object having the next reference to the newly created object to previous here. Right. So this is the way we are having the relation here. Now, so size is incremented here. Mod count also incremented. Observe. Now I'm returning true. Okay. So this is not the. Let me close array list related concepts here. Okay. So back to here. So one more I want to add EF. So how this particular EF is going to store? How this particular EF is going to store? Because the two objects we identified. Now what is the last here? CD, right? Now we need to focus on to the EF section. EF section we need to identify. So what is the last node here? CD. Getting the point. The CD we already created previous node. Okay, so let me create one more also. I want to create one more, and this is, so what is the value we are trying to store here? EF, right? So EF node we created. Observe. So last node we got as a CD, because we are going to create new node here. So this particular new node is going to provide the information. Is going to provide the information for the EF. Now observe. So EF is having previous reference here. EF is having previous reference. So this particular previous reference is to the which item? CD. Now what you are understanding here? So basically, so this is the EF node. So it's having previous references to the CD. Previous reference to the CD. Right. Now, so this particular newly is having previous. Right. So newly is having previous. Now we can see the CD is having AB. CD is having AB. Now you can see AB does not have a next here. Don't confuse here. This is important here. This is the newly created object here, and we link it to the previous node. So that is called CD. Okay. Now back to here. So L it is not a null, right? So if the L is not a null, newly created node we are making as a last, and so we are moving into the L section. The L we are created as a CD. So now you can see the CD having next to reference also. The CD is having next to reference to the newly created node here. Now you can see L having so two information, previous and next. Previous and next here. Okay, size count, mod count. Now what you are understanding here? So this particular CD so is pointing to the both here. Right? So EF is pointing to the previous references to the this. So this particular previous, and this is having second next references here. Right. So this CD having previous and next here. Both are filled. Both are filled here. So whenever, if I'm going to create one more, now what happens internally? So this the reference will going to connect it to the next node. Now what you are understanding here, whenever we are trying to create a linked list here internally, so we are going to create a new node. So with the help of this particular new node, we are going to making the previous node reference and the next node references here, right? So as of now, we discuss only the constructor section and add method. We are having so multiple different method we are having here because so this particular linked list is implementing from the list interface, queue interface, and DQ interface. So we need to discuss some more methods here. Okay. So those sections we can discuss in our tomorrow class. So any questions as of now? Okay. So if you don't have any question for the current class, we'll continue tomorrow.